Hello, my name is Tyler Bradley, and this is a run-through of Fulfil. First, to get to our website, you have to go to our website, getfulfil.com. That's one L at the end. And then you can scroll down, kind of see what we do, some very interesting stats about college. And this is my favorite graph, a lot of information. But the first thing anyone normally would do is get started. So you can type in your information, which I just did right here, and I just pre-filled some stuff. And then here we go. Don't want to save that. And the first thing you're going to do is set up your profile. And this gives us a lot of the information we need to help you find different educational resources that might make sense for you and help kind of guide where a user might go. So I'm going to say this person's in Eden Prairie and they're interested in plumbing and HVAC. And these can be changed, and these are fine-tuned as you go through the process too. So no student needs to be super stressed that they're going to be pigeonholed the first thing they come into our site. This is just some overarching interest they may have. So maybe I just heard some interesting stats about plumbing or HVAC. And this is going to save it into a variety of different areas, and we can make decisions based on those later. And then we can help the student realize what funding opportunities that might be available for them. And this is really for anyone. It's not just for students. Let's say they're interested in a certification program. They don't have a bachelor's degree yet. They are going to fill out their FAFSA. They're interested in needs-based help. They're kind of a young adult, maybe even just graduating, looking for a certificate. And let's say they're interested in manufacturing and transportation. There's a lot of industries on here, but I'm just going to focus on these two for now. So it looks like they qualify for some help. North Star Promise is a great program. There's some state grants, the Pell Grant, and these are now saved to their profile, and they can take a look at those later. And then the career quiz. This helps us gauge again more what their interests are. We help them. They've completed high school. Maybe are they going to complete high school soon? But this helps us guide them into different industries, and you'll see at the end of the quiz. I'll just answer some questions real quick here. Ready to start soon. I'm just going to skip. This is a pretty simple quiz. I'll just skip to the end. Okay, so I finished the questionnaire. I entered in some pretty generic answers, but now I'm going to go to show my matches. And here are all the job industries that I might make sense in. And so you have some high-level information and the median pay. So let's look at some of these. Maybe installation, maintenance, work, repair. Maybe I think I can make more than that. Maybe I want to see what I can do here. Machinist, that's pretty good. I'll save that to my interests. Riggers, millwrights. Wow, almost 70K. Okay. Some of these looking industry. Ooh, wow. See, this requires a 4-year degree. These little tabs here communicate what level of training and prep these need. So you see, like, basic prep is a high school diploma and maybe a couple weeks or months of learning. And then intermediate means they do need several months to 2 years of training, sometimes like a certification program. And this means it's generally a 4-year degree or college. So that's why you have engineers generally a 4-year degree task. But, ooh, interesting, wow. So I think I have a good idea. I've selected some interests. Now I'm going to go to finish, and now I'm going to head to explore. And explore, it's going to autofill with one of the things I already told it I was interested in, and I already told it at the beginning I was interested in plumbing. So this is what it populates with. But I can click any of these, and it'll show me what financial aid I qualify for based on my quiz in this industry, and all the training options available. And I can even go into more training options if I go up here and explore specific training. But these are all the options that are local to me. For instance, it has Hennepin Tech, because I said I live in Eden Prairie, and Hennepin Tech's in Eden Prairie. And then here you also have all the jobs right here. So I can look at the funding and the training and the jobs all in one place, and I can kind of design my own career path. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I think I might qualify for this. And I think I qualify for the Pell Grant, so I'm going to favorite those. And then maybe an apprenticeship program with a union might sound nice. Maybe I'll look at those two unions, and I'll also look at just getting a normal plumbing certification at Hennepin Tech. And let's look over here. Some of these jobs look really nice. Service tech. I'm just gonna kind of pick some at random that I can look at later. But now you see I have my career path here. I can click save and continue. And now it brings me to my homepage where these are all kind of tasks that I've kind of created my roadmap of what my career could look like. And I could go over to career path. And, I had plumbing here. Let's instead of plumbing, let's look at more of these. Let's see police officer. What does this path look like? And so again, I have some kind of overarching information on police officers, medium wage. They're growing. They're in high demand right now. This is all my information from plumbing. But now, if I scroll down further, I'll see now police officer training. Peace officer certificates, law enforcement certificate, peace officer, criminal justice, some of these things. And then also, again, the jobs and roles that are in this field. Security officer, officer of the day, court security officer. And so again, I can save these and I can look at the training, and then I can again save them, and so they'll go to my homepage and become more tasks that I can do, and I can separate saved tasks by the industry, so I can look at things separately, like what was welding and what's police officer. And so really we try to make it so kids can, or really anyone entering or re-entering the job market, can play around with what their career could look like, giving them as much information as we can possibly give them. And if they really want to, they can go to even just the interest that they came up with through their quiz. Maybe you want to look at being a millwright. I think HVAC technician would be more interesting. Millwright's interesting. I kind of want to look at HVAC, actually. I'm going to change my mind. And this is kind of why we made it so simple. You can look at all the training and job options right here. So again, you have all the training options, cost compared right here, and you can apply to a few. Just click view program or view job, and you can go to that program or that job or the funding opportunities. And yeah, like, oh, look, HVAC, service technician, for when I graduate. And yeah, so I could toy around with this for a while. I love this. But then in addition to all of that, we list resources that are available in Minneapolis area. That these are all nonprofits that they can connect with to help them with soft skills, help them interview, help them get connected, and network with unions, with people that might be hiring. These are all, like Summit Academy, I know is great. I know Twin Cities Rise, Hired. All these companies are pretty proactive. Goodwill, Easter Seals. All these companies are very proactive in getting people into these high-paying, in-demand jobs. And so we just want to put these front and center to anyone entering or re-enter the job market. And if you want to look at just training specifically, again, you can go here and say you want to CDLA. I can see where I can get my certification. There's Class B, Class A. Yes, that's kind of the base use of it, and there's a couple other things that we have, and there's a couple other things we're adding that I'm not going to go into, but I think this covers the basics of really this is a tool that this synthesizes about 20 or more different databases, the information, and puts them in one place for anyone entering or re-entering the job market to peruse very quickly and effectively. A lot of work was put into making this as simple as possible. And if there's any way, if there's any information we don't have, we would love to hear about it, because we've done a lot of work to get as much information as we can get. But I think that's it for this short little demo. If you want more information, of course, you can just contact me directly at tyler@getfulfil.com. And that's my email address. But yeah, I'd love to hear back from you, and thanks. Bye.